GTA 6 only costing $80 instead of the previously expected $100 is gonna have gamers creaming their pants with excitement, which is funny because Nintendo haters took to the streets when Mario Kart World was announced at 80. And guys, at this rate, it ain't long before buying a video game is gonna require a credit check and a cosigner, okay? But GTA 6 potentially costing $80 is according to a video game analyst's post over on LinkedIn, and that's for the standard edition, which means deluxe editions are guaranteed to hit triple digits, and by GTA 7, well, we're gonna be financing the game over 12 months with interest. However, there's a catch to this analyst's predictions, so in this video we're going to take a deep dive into why they think $80 is likely, whether or not this price point is going to be the new normal by 2026, and if the rest of their predictions are even possible to begin with. But first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. Now, the news of GTA 6 costing $80 comes from Josh Chapman, a managing partner at Convoy. They posted this over on LinkedIn. Now, if you guys don't know, Convoy is a venture capital and private equity firm out of Denver. They say that they invest in the platforms and technologies at the frontier of gaming. They specialize in video games, venture capital, angel investing, angel network, gaming startups, etc., etc. Okay, so it is Convoy's entire job to predict and analyze and understand the financials of the gaming industry. Okay, so this is not just some random 4chan leak or some random dude over on r/gaming. Okay, this is actually like a serious investment analysis and predictions for GTA 6. So let's see what Josh has to say here. We predict that GTA 6 will generate 7.6 billion in revenue in the first 60 days of its launch, with the current release date listed of May 26th 2026. That right there is an insane prediction, and we're going to get into that later in this video, if that's even possible, because that is a bold and wild prediction, but we'll talk about that in a minute. This will be the greatest video game release of all time, shattering player, viewership, and revenue records. For Take-Two Interactive's $2 billion investment into this game, we believe they will break even on that within 30 days of release. See our breakdown in the chart attached. We chatted internally here at Convoy and decided to write down a few predictions and make them public. Number one, GTA 6 is the largest gaming release of all time, shattering records of copies sold and revenues generated within almost every period of time. I think that this is a very safe prediction to make, right? I think GTA 5 is the biggest gaming release of all time, and so this sequel is probably going to be as big, if not bigger, because it's been so long since GTA 5 and the game is extremely highly anticipated. Prediction number two, GTA 6 will cost $80. There will be premium versions, of course, but the base price is $80. Now, this is actually really interesting because this prediction kind of goes against the grain here a little bit, because a lot of people thought that GTA 6, being a $2 billion investment and being as anticipated as it is, lots of people just a few months ago were predicting that GTA 6 could easily charge $100 for the standard version, and I don't think basically anybody would argue with the value proposition there, because the game, again, is so anticipated and just looks to be so far ahead of the competition when it comes to quality, at least from what we can tell from early trailers. So an $80 price point prediction here is really interesting, although not that shocking, to be honest with you. Their third prediction is that GTA 6 is the next UGC platform. It will have a UGC component that includes creator payouts for server hosts, mod creators, and more, mimicking the creator economics of UEFN and Roblox. I think that is another very strong and solid prediction as well. UGC stands for user generated content, so they're saying that GTA 6 is going to be the hub for user generated content moving forward, and this is going to cause a lot of income and viewership on the game, way more than people expect. They also predict GTA 6 will have 200-person lobbies, and there will be higher risk/reward dynamics where you can raid and steal items from players more easily. They also say GTA 6 will likely break even on its $2 billion investment in less than 30 days of release. GTA 6 will hit the attached chart of copies sold, revenue, and player targets. We can't wait for this title to be released in 2026. I will certainly be playing it. And then here they go ahead and show some of their different data points here. So let's take a closer look at Convoy's projections here. Okay, it looks like they're thinking 10 million in pre-orders, 25 million on day one total at $80. By day 60, they're expecting 85 million total at $80. So that's going to be 6.8 billion from game sales alone. They also expect the GTA Plus subscription at $9 $9 a month, by day 30 is going to have about 10% of the install base, right? So 10% of that 85 million units sold, they're expecting to be paying the $9 a month for GTA Plus, and they bump it up to 20% by month 2, right? They think 20% of the 85 million sold is going to be paying $9 a month beyond that, which I think is kind of insane. And then from in-app purchases, they expect a 40% conversion rate at a $20 average. So they're expecting 40% of those 85 million to spend on average $20 on the game, right? So between the monthly recurring revenue and the in-app purchases, they're expecting the other 680 million. So that is quite the breakdown. A $7.6 billion debut. Is this even possible, or are they just like huffing the copium and just fueled on pure hype? Their $7.6 billion debut assumes 85 million copies sold within 60 days. The only problem with that is that GTA 6 on their official website still only lists the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S as the launch platforms for the game, which means we are not expecting a PS4 release. We are not expecting a PC release at launch. Initially, the PC launch was scheduled for 1 year after the initial console launch. If that's still the case, we don't know, because obviously it was delayed about a year, but I think it's logical to assume that the GTA 6 website is telling the truth. So if it's only going to launch on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S at launch, at least for the first 60 days, well, at the time of recording this, there's only about 80 million PS5 units sold in its entirety and about 33 million units sold for the Xbox Series X and S in its entirety. So okay, right now the total install base at launch is 113 million units. Now by this time next year, of course, there's going to be more units on the market. Maybe we could assume that's, I don't know, 130 140 million. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but let's say GTA 6 came out today. Okay, to achieve 85 million units sold, they would need a 75% attach rate for the entire console market. So that means 3 out of every 4 console owners for this current generation would have to purchase GTA 6 to hit their 85 million unit launch prediction within 60 days. Is that even possible? Well, sure, it's definitely possible, right? I mean, nothing's impossible, but I think it's highly unlikely that 3 out of 4 console owners are going to be buying GTA 6. I mean, it's an M-rated game, and like, look, I remember having Grand Theft Auto when I was too young, right? But there's still plenty of parents that aren't going to buy GTA 6 for their kids, and so that kind of wipes out a large component of the console market right out of the gates. I think it's safe to assume that if somebody's playing GTA 5 on a PS5, they're probably going to buy it. I think, you know, there's a massive overlap with the Call of Duty community, right? I think that's fair. But once we break out of that shooter genre, like, I'm not really sure what the overlap is going to be. If your favorite games are Elden Ring, Astrobot, let's say you're playing like the Crash Bandicoot or the Spyro trilogy, or you're playing Sonic Frontiers or something, like, what's the overlap of those players, the more casual players, and GTA 6? Like, how many of them are actually going to buy it? Maybe it's a lot, maybe it's not, but I think 75% attach rate in 60 days is not realistic. But what about the $7.6 billion debut in the first 60 days? Well, we have to put that into perspective, right? GTA 5, one of the most successful games literally ever, earned $1 billion in its first 3 days with about 11 million copies sold. So they're predicting that GTA 6 will reach 7.6 times that in revenue in just 8 weeks. That would be absolutely unprecedented. And again, assuming that the PC launch doesn't happen on day 1, like, how many people are just going to wait for the PC version? Because the PC version is going to have a much more robust mod support and things like that. I think a lot of people are going to prefer PC, because when you look at the PC industry today versus the PC industry when GTA 5 came out all the way back in 2013, boys, it's night and day. The PC industry is way bigger now than it was back in 2013, and so I think a lot more people than they realize are going to just wait for the PC release. So all in all, the $7.6 billion forecast, I think, is hype heavy. Okay, it's extremely ambitious. It might just be outright unrealistic. Like, let's be real. I think crossing the $7 billion mark in 2 months would be literally like the best case scenario. That is the most hype hype driven that we could possibly get, to be honest with you guys, especially because a lot of people are price conscious right now. A lot of people are spending less money on video games as a whole. Just 2 weeks ago, Vice reported that Zoomers spending on games dropped by nearly a quarter. In a June 24th report from the Wall Street Journal, Circana found both online and retail purchases amongst ages 18 to 24 dropped by 13% from January to April compared to the year prior. In particular, Circana found that young Zoomers were spending nearly 25% less per week on video games than they were in 2024. So with the price of everything going up as a result of inflation and various other reasons, and with the fact that it's only coming to console first, I don't know, man. I think this might be way too optimistic, but let's compare this to other record-breaking game launches. Obviously no video game in history has ever come close to 7.6 billion in 2 months, so it's worth comparing it to some past hits. GTA 5 set the current gold standard. Okay, it earned 800 million on launch day and 1 billion in the first 3 days, making it the fastest selling entertainment product ever at the time. By contrast, Red Dead Redemption 2, which came out in 2018, had 725 million opening weekend. That's a 3-day weekend, with the second largest entertainment launch ever. Red Dead Redemption 2 shipped about 18 million copies in its first 12 days. Obviously other big franchises that fall short of those numbers are, for example, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which came out in 2022, crossed 1 billion in 10 days, and Cyberpunk 2077 sold roughly 13 million copies, which is about 780 million in its first few weeks. Even Minecraft, okay, we're talking Minecraft, ladies and gentlemen, the best-selling game ever with over 300 million copies over the many years that it's been around, didn't achieve tens of millions of sales in a mere 2-month launch window. Obviously, right, it was a very small game when it first came out. So in total, only 2 games, GTA 5 with 215 million units sold and Minecraft, have breached the 100 million unit sold mark. So no game has crossed 7 billion in such a short period of time. So Convoy's prediction for GTA 6 is unprecedented, to say the least. To put it simply, nothing in gaming's record books approaches what has been predicted for GTA 6 here. So yeah, I think this is extremely hype driven. That being said, though, I do think that GTA 6 is going to break entertainment industry records again. Okay, I think it's going to be the biggest entertainment launch in history, no doubt, right? I think it's going to be bigger than GTA 5. I think it's going to be bigger than any movie that's ever come out, right? I mean, if we look at Avatar in 2009, okay, it generated 2.92 billion, and so the analysts are expecting double that from GTA 6. So let's talk about the $80 price point for GTA 6. Okay, there's a few reasons why analysts are expecting the price hike from the current standard of $70 up to $80. Okay, so for a long time games were 60. Back in 2020 when the PS5 came out, the new standard was 70 for AAA games. Okay, now we've got the gaming industry faced with inflation, ballooning development costs, and based on the value that some of these games bring with their replayability, some platforms are starting to look at $80. Okay, of course, I mentioned earlier we already saw Nintendo introducing an $80 baseline for certain titles, and Microsoft has already announced that they are following suit. This was back in May. They said, as of May 1st, we have adjusted recommended retailer pricing for our consoles and controllers worldwide. We also expect to adjust the pricing of some of our new games, first party games, starting this holiday season at $80. Okay, so Nintendo's at 80, Microsoft is at 80. I mean, look, GTA 6, let's be real, 80 is almost guaranteed. That is the floor for GTA 6 in my opinion. There's zero chance it launches at 70 in my mind. And just to be clear here, demand for GTA 6 is literally off the charts. The game is arguably the most anticipated title ever. The fan base for GTA 6 is more than willing to pay over $70 for the game. Like, let's just be real. And that's not even including those that are going to inevitably buy the deluxe edition, right? I can imagine an $80 base, a $100 deluxe, and then a, you know, $120 or $150 premium edition, right? And these might have like shark cards or whatever the in-game currency is. Like, I think that's completely reasonable. And we also have to take into account the current landscape of AAA games, right? Gamers are literally starved for high quality, big budget gaming experiences these days. We are constantly seeing big budget games come out and maybe not flop, but just not really deliver what players are really looking for here. We also have to to consider that it's been over a decade since GTA 5's release in 2013, and there's been no like honest competition for open world crime games in that niche. Like that's it, it's GTA 5 and nothing else has even come close in that time period. GTA 5's online has been able to keep players interested, engaged, and coming back the entire time, all while we are seeing many other AAA titles come and go and just launching, you know, having buggy launches and just being overall just uninspired sequels that nobody really cares about. And remember, when Rockstar finally dropped official trailers for GTA 6, the response was massive. The trailers broke viewership records twice, getting tens of millions of views within a mere few days. And so it's clear, right? Gamers' excitement for GTA 6 points to a broader sentiment. Many players crave a polished, content-rich AAA game amidst a landscape that sometimes feels saturated with just microtransactions, remakes, formulaic releases. GTA 6 promises a next-gen leap in technology and scope, something truly groundbreaking, and fans have been waiting years for a title of this caliber, because in recent years we've seen very few genre-defining blockbuster games. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Are you willing to pay $80 for GTA 6? Do you think that that is an absolute steal, or do you think that this isn't even accurate? Do you think GTA 6 is still going to launch at a higher price point than even $80? Do you think it could launch at $100 for the base version? Let me know in the comment section below, and while you're down there, drop a thumbs up on the video. It really helps out the channel a ton. It helps get this video out to the YouTube algorithm so other GTA enjoyers might see it, and consider subscribing to the channel. We are such a small channel, but it has been growing like crazy. Subscribe if you want more gaming news, and with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.